Okay, there we go. I don't know. When I was on Wi-Fi, it wouldn't start the video, so I've gone off Wi-Fi. So hopefully this will work. All right, it's time for a paper pumpkin. And this month's kit was Christmas cards. So you got to make 4 of each card, so 8 cards total. These are gorgeous cards. I really love them. Pretty colors. And then I'll show you how I made each of these. And then at the end, I'll show you the bonus project that I provide for all my Paper Pumpkin subscribers and everyone on my team. Hey, Debbie. Welcome. All right. These are the cards we're going to make, and then I'll do the bonus one at the end. So let's get started. We'll start with, and something that you want to notice, hey, Nancy, is your lines go different ways. So the card that is going horizontal, the lines go that way. They go horizontally across the card. And then the card that's going vertical, they're also going horizontal across the card. So you just, untied my bow, didn't I? So you just want to be sure you pay attention to those lines. Because when I was first doing it, I was like, wait a minute, those are different. All right. So for our horizontal one, one more thing. They gave you the gold sentiments that are in here are in different colors. And this is probably going to be really shiny. But so they tell you on this insert what the different words are in French and German. So you know if you have somebody that speaks French that you want to send a French one to, you know what you're saying. So I thought that was fun. Okay. So the only stamping on this one, and let me get my foam mat. The only stamping on this one is your sentiment, and this one says Merry Christmas. And we're going to be stamping with our Just Jade. That's kind of glary. So let me grab the Merry Christmas. And Just Jade. Now, if you're doing all of these, I would stamp all your Merry Christmas, stamp all your other ones, but I'm just doing them one at a time since I'm just going to show you one of each. Stamp that right in the middle. That is such a pretty color. I need to use more of it. I really like it. Hey, Betty. Welcome. We're just getting started. All right. And they tell you, let me get the instructions. Here they are. They tell you what order to put all this together. So down here, they'll tell you what order. So now you're going to, before you do anything else, put that outside, is you're going to take your embossed piece, and you can have it, I'm trying to remember how I did it. Yeah, I had it going up and down on the last one. And you're going to, what I did, I think they tell you to use the glue dots. I did not. So if you notice, you're going to be covering up the upper right and the lower left of this twine. And so I just put some of this adhesive in the upper right and the lower left. And then I'm just going to take the twine. I probably should have gotten it wet the other day to relax it a little bit. And I'm just going to start laying it there. Whoops. Not there yet. And make it come around in a loop. And adhere it there. And whoops, let's go down a little bit farther so we have something hanging out there. There. And it will get held down some by the sentiment and all the other stuff that you're building on there. But it does tend to, whoops, see if I can get that end to stick over here. There we go. It does tend to kind of curl up like that. Tell you what. Whoops. Let's just set that on top of it. We'll move it aside for a moment. Okay. Then after the, so you'd hear the twine. Oh, and then you would hear that to the card base using adhesive dots. And I'm going to be lazy tonight and use my, the other day I did use adhesive dots, but so you don't have to watch me take all those little pieces off. Hopefully I didn't press, there we go. And this is going to go a little bit to the left of this. Stay. All right, and then it says, layer and adhere pieces in this order. So printed die cuts with dimensionals. So they give you a whole sheet of dimensionals. And I just looked at the picture and said, okay, this one is kind of going like this. So I'm going to put a dimensional here and here. And then just kind of layer it like this. And I just eyeballed it from what it looked like the picture. I just looked at the picture on the front. Just looked at this. And so this one is going to go like this. So you're not going to see a lot of the flowers, which is too bad because they're such pretty flowers. So again, I'm just going to put a couple of dimensionals on here. And that's going to go like this. Almost need something there, but maybe once I get it all done, I can put something on top of them to keep those down till they relax a little bit. All right, so printed die cuts with dimensionals, then foil die cuts with adhesive dots. Again, I'm going to cheat and use my Stampin' Seal. When I did the adhesive dots, I just kind of put them across there. So that's going to go in the middle there. And then the last thing is your stamped label with dimensionals again. And that's just going to go on top of the foil. And there you go. It is so pretty. I really like these cards. And I haven't seen yet if the refill is available, but they have started doing that again. For a little while they had shut those off, but now they've started doing them again. So this might be one to get a refill of just to get some more of these cards because they are really pretty. All right, so that's the first one. And then the second one has just a teeny bit more stamping, but not much. So let's see, they did, for this one I did Joy to the World. They did that. They also did Sending Joy, Love to You and Yours, and Joy to the World. So let's do Love to You and Yours this time, just for something different. All right, let me set this one out of the way. Get all of our little pieces here. We're going to need our ink again. All right. Let's do our stamping first. Put all the other little pieces out of the way. And let's get our foam adhesive sheet. So I said I was going to do Love to You and Yours. So let's get that To You and Yours, because we're going to stamp that. And that's just going to go on this little label here. Still with the Just Jade. try. Oh, it got a little bit high, but it'll be okay. And then the other thing we're going to stamp is the wreath. So it comes with this fun wreath. And we're just going to stamp that on top of this wreath. So you can see it already has some greenery behind it. And so I think I tried to look at kind of where there were already greenery. I mean, it doesn't really matter. Last time when I did it, it turned out, I mean, I just set it down and it worked so well. But it doesn't really matter. You're just adding some more greenery on top of it. There you go. And then you can see that light green behind it. All right, that's all the stamping for this one. Okay, and then we're going to put it together in the same order. So, get rid of that for a moment. We have, and it's 18 inches of ribbon for all of these. So this one, you wrap around your embossed piece of white, and you're going to tie it in a bow. Hopefully I will do better than when I did it the other day. Come here. I always tie mine in a knot first. And it's a little loose, but I think it'll be okay. And that just makes it easier to tie a bow on top of it, especially with something thin like this. You don't have to worry about adding a lot of bulk to it. Yeah, and you might want to wet your ribbon and just let it dry a little bit so it's not quite, although that's kind of fun to have that one curly. All right, so I'm going to pull it all the way over to the right-hand side. All right, and then we're going to attach this to our card base. Again, I'm going to use my Stampin' Seal. And if they start coming off because I didn't use glue dots, then I'll put glue dots on later. And this is just going to go in the middle of this. All right, and then you're going to put your die cut. I have to look at mine. So it's going to go kind of over your ribbon a little bit. And you're going to use dimensionals. Whoop. All right, well, we're going to have two dimensionals down there. They came together. That's all right. Ooh, come back here. Okay. So we're just going to put this over our bow. And then I didn't pop these out ahead of time just because I didn't want to lose it or damage it, because they are very thin. And like the joy, I had to be sure I got the dot over the J. So you just have to, for the love, I don't have to worry about that. There we go. So now we have love. And I think when they did this, they put it towards the, let's just look at our picture again. They put it right across the middle, kind of. So this one I probably will use the little glue dots that they gave us just because they'll be small and I can put them on some of those spots where the letters are a little bit thicker. So I like to use my Take Your Pick tool. This little shovel end is perfect for this. So let's put one there, and maybe we can get away with one on the E. And I can always fold it over some once I take the back off if I need to, so that it doesn't stick out. Oh. Come here. All right, so yeah, it's not too bad though. I'll just fold a little bit on that E. You probably do not want to use liquid adhesive with these, because if you get any liquid adhesive on the front, it makes a mess. All right, so we're going to, hopefully those will, yes, perfect. So we'll put love there. And then we will put our rest of our sentiment. And it's supposed to be with dimensionals. So we'll just put a couple of dimensionals on it. And we'll put it right down here. There, whoops, I need that. That's cute too. So I did joy, which I need to retie my bow because I untied it. And now I did love. All right, so those are the cards. Like I said, you get 4 of each. Gorgeous cards, I really love them. But then I always have a bonus project for you that I send you that I make using the stamps from the set. So this is the bonus project I came up with. I just loved that wreath. And I stayed with the Just Jade. And I cut all my ribbon to be sure I had enough left over. And you will have enough left over to make a bow. So let's make this. So this is what you'll get in the mail. Your card base and your other 2 pieces. Not a lot to this one, but it's such a pretty wreath. It doesn't need a lot. So I did something similar to what they did on theirs. I took, let me clean my wreath first. So I took 2 different greens. This is soft seafoam. Clean this off so we can use our soft seafoam. Okay. I'm going to do soft seafoam first. And you could do it the other way around. I just liked doing the soft seafoam first. I don't know why. I just did. And so you're just going to stamp it with the soft seafoam in the middle of your square. Set that aside. And then you're going to take your, and let me just put it underneath of this because I am going to stamp off the edge a little bit. All right, let me get my ink back up here. And so I just stamped some wreaths in the background. So I'm just doing soft seafoam on soft seafoam. And then what I did on the very bottom, I stamped off and then I stamped another one there because I'm going to put my sentiment there. So I didn't want it to be too dark so that I couldn't see my sentiment. Didn't want it to interfere with that. All right, so we're going to get our, now we can take this back up here. Thank you, Nancy. We're going to get our, whew. All right, so trying to reconnect. Hopefully you're still here. And we're going to stamp our sentiment. Since I have this card here, we'll do our sentiment. And so I just stamped it, excuse me, right on the card base down here at the bottom in the Just Jade. And then we will stamp our wreath in Just Jade over the top. And I just made sure it was turned a little bit different so that it's not exactly lining up, so that you can see both of them there. All right, and then one last thing. I decided that it needed some berries. So I got my cherry cobbler because I thought that was a pretty color with these greens. And there's a little berry stamp in here. And so we'll just stamp a few berries on here. So I put some on the inside. Thank you, Debbie. Some on the outside. Just wherever you feel like doing it. Maybe one over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, we need one more. How about there? There we go. I try and keep it an odd number here too. All right. That is all of our stamping. Now we're ready to put it together. You can get rid of this. All right, so I just put this flat on my Just Jade. So it's just gonna go flat on that, and it just has a little border around it, not much, just a little bit. Oops. Try and get it straight. That's better. And then I did put it up on dimensionals on the card. And I put one in each corner and one in the middle, just because I didn't want that middle to sag at all. You're going to put that centered left to right, but up a little bit since you have your sentiment at the bottom. And like I said, I cut all my twine for the cards to be sure I had some left, and I had this much left plus the little bit I used there. So we will just tie, and I always find it easier to tie a bow while it's still on the thing. I don't know why. It just, for me, that's easier. Then you can kind of pull it till you get it. There we go. Oh, let me grab my scissors. And then on this one, I did use a glue dot, just a regular glue dot. And you can kind of roll it up. I have to be careful because eventually I'll end up with it sticking to my finger instead of where I want it. But even if you don't get it rolled up before you put it on there, I don't know if you can see this, but once you get it on your ribbon, you can kind of roll it up so that it's not showing. And then I just put it, oh, needs a little bit more rolling up at the bottom. There we go. And I just put it here on the bottom of the wreath. You can put it on the bottom, you can put it on the top, and there you go. There's your bonus project. So here's what we made tonight. We made this lovely card, and I love the envelopes, the liners in the envelopes. And this lovely card, and then this is your bonus card. So I will get these in the mail to you, and you will be able to make them too, and make a few more Christmas cards. Super easy one, but I was pleased with the way it turned out. All right. Thank you, ladies. I'm glad you liked it. Thank you so much for joining me. Tomorrow night is Facebook Live, but it's going to be at 8 instead of 7:30. I have a hair appointment, and I don't know that I'll be home and ready to go live at 7:30. I probably will want to eat something. So it'll be at 8 o'clock tomorrow instead of 7:30. And we're going to play some more with the Tag Buffet stamp set. So I hope I will see you tomorrow night. Thanks, ladies. Bye.